Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. It is Monday, May 11th, and this is your host, Keely Austin. Today we get to learn from Michael Huggins, who is an incredible individual whom I've known both he and Vanessa for around 14 years now, and I've literally witnessed them go from frustrated and broke when Michael was working two jobs. About 10 years ago, he was working for both Jiffy Lube and Sears Auto, and paying student loans, thinking that he had done everything right, but still just living paycheck to paycheck. Debt wasn't getting any smaller, and it was incredibly frustrating. Michael and Vanessa were living in Vanessa's mother's basement at the time, and Michael was actually riding his brother's bicycle to work because he couldn't even afford his own bike or car. So Michael knew that he needed to make a change because what was currently going on was not working, and so he knew that he had heard about real estate investing and knew that that was probably a really smart thing to learn about. And I'm so grateful that Michael found Renatus through his search in real estate investing. So 10 years ago, about 10 years, maybe 9 or 10, he got started with Renatus, the education and the marketing system. And fast forward to today. And as I was saying before too, I've watched that transition from before to now, and it's just been incredible. So fast forward to today, Michael and Vanessa are incredibly successful, and Michael has earned himself #1 income earner in the past, currently #2 income earner in the entire company. And he has earned himself multiple seven figures in this business. And he is recognized by our CEO, Bob Snyder, as a key leader. He is on our PAC, which is the President's Advisory Council. So he's got a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience to share with us. So I'm very, very grateful to bring out Michael Huggins this morning. Good morning, Michael. I hope Michael's with us this morning. I'm going to send him a quick message. I do that. Vanessa had her baby, and so they are definitely new parents and experiencing new things. And I'm so, so excited for them and so very grateful that they have brought a little baby human into this world. It's just a beautiful thing, just in time for Mother's Day. If anyone has heard from Michael and wants to let me know if he will not be on training today, that would be awesome. I haven't heard from him. I saw in the chat, is it true that Vanessa and Michael met video gaming? It is true that they met online gaming about, I don't know, 15 years ago. They've been together a long time.
I don't see him on the line.
Hey, you know, Michael and Vanessa had their baby Friday. He might be asleep.
Yes, I just said that. Yeah, they just had their baby, and I understand that
Maybe
he's
we should
not
wake
here.
him up quietly.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not going to be here, he's probably dealing with a brand new newborn baby, so that's totally okay. What we can do is improvise, which we've done before.
He probably sleeping.
When did they have baby?
They had their baby on the 7th,
Friday.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, or on Friday.
It was Friday because it was a Super Saturday, and the baby was born the day before, about 10:30 in the morning or something.
Okay,
Yes.
What did he have?
He had
Things Vanessa does for Mother's Day.
Yes.
Michael and Vanessa had a baby boy on Friday the 8th, and he is happy and healthy. He's perfect. They named him Benjamin Bodhi. And, I was really excited to hear all of this from Michael. I don't want to take away any of his thunder. So let's go ahead and just improvise. If you guys want to come out with any questions regarding our business, or we can talk about wins, we can talk about gratitude, or we can call it a day. What do you guys think? If anyone has any questions, we can kind of just mastermind.
This is Alvin Howard in Cincinnati. Hi, can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
I had put it in chat, but I heard you say that you're having a Spanish-speaking property tour this week, and I was going to ask you if you could put something in the chat in Spanish so that I could market that. I don't speak Spanish myself. It is something that I am going to be learning to do, but I would like to be able to post it maybe on Facebook in Spanish so that I could get some people attracted to coming to it.
I think that's a great idea. I don't speak Spanish myself either, which I definitely plan on learning. So
I can answer that
Perfect.
question, Kelly.
Perfect.
The thing, Alvin, is that we need to make sure that people know English. There is a document in Helios that is like the guidelines for bilingual. So in reality, we are not attracting Spanish speaking only. They need to be bilingual. So what I normally do, and I will say 95% of my team is Hispanic or speak Spanish in any other way. But mainly I send everything in English, so I know for a fact that they know English. And then even in my presentation, I have all my slides in English, even though I speak Spanish, because I want to make sure that whomever is attracted know English and Spanish. And it doesn't have to be, like perfect English, but that we can communicate, because all the education is in English. We need to make sure that in the future they don't come, oh, they didn't tell me all of this is in English, even though most of the classes have the Spanish subtitles, but people need to be bilingual. If that makes sense.
Wanda. Wanda?
Yes.
It is. Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong. This is Anna in Lorton, Virginia.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but it also, what I understand is that you guys at Utah are running a pilot on doing presentations in Spanish. Is that correct?
That is correct. And we have kept it very close and very tight for the last 3 years now, because we started in 2007. Laura and Ryan and I, we studied the Spanish, but and then when Nicole came on board, they said it's going to be only in Salt Lake, actually not even in Utah, in Salt Lake County only. And so Ryan and Laura had one meeting, I had another meeting, and so on. But now with the coronavirus, it's being broadcast, and it's very, very hard to control who comes to the meeting. So we have seen a lot of people joining from around the country. And, that's like, we cannot have control now of that. So if you promote and you link it, what I have noticed is, like, for example, Antonio Lobo from South Florida and Kevin Terrell from Central Florida, they create their own event for South Cal or for South Florida or for Central Florida, and they broadcast simultaneously from Salt Lake, and they link people into Salt Lake event. That's how I've been seeing it. And Ryan and I, in our leadership meeting, we talk about that, but it's like, it's impossible to control it now. But yes, the normal guideline, the real rules said only Salt Lake. But because it's online, it's like, you imagine you are bringing somebody to Salt Lake virtually. That's how it is now.
So, Wanda, how would I market the Spanish-speaking property tour that's coming up? What would I just say that it's a bilingual with Spanish-speaking?
The event is conducted completely in Spanish. You just want to make sure that people understand that the classes are in English. Okay. And all the documents are in English. We have not yet transitioned to have everything in Spanish. That's in the works, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
We don't want anybody to then, oh, they sold me something that is totally in English and I don't know English.
Okay.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah. I'm just kind of focusing on the property tour itself, this property tour.
Yes.
It's in
Just
Spanish,
invite
so-
them like the same way that you invite to any property to come check this out. It's people in Latino people community is growing in our nationwide, and they're doing amazing things. Just come watch it. You know, we have, you're gonna see our Latino community in action pretty much.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And
Yeah, you're
also,
welcome.
adding to Wanda's information, this is Anna from Denver. Make sure
Yes.
to register yourself, Alvin, and register your guest.
Please, 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 please. This is something very, very, very common, especially like in Latinos. Like we, Anna and I, we are in the registration team. And when the event is online, obviously, you know, it's different because it's not like somebody is walking in front of us and we checking them in or you know, walk through walk-ins. So basically we have to go through everybody on the line, on the participants, and then go to the system and try to register them. Sometimes you enter with a number, only the phone number, and it's hard to calculate who's the person behind the phone number. Sometimes you enter with only the first name and the last name or initials. I think now we control that because we put like registrations before we enter the Zoom account, and that is solving most of the issues on that. But still, some people, instead of filling in the entire first name and last name, they still put in initials, so they still put in like first name and initial. So try to fill out the enter information completely to the Zoom participation list. And then that way we have all the names. But when we compare then those names to the actual registration in the calendar, most of the people, a lot of people are not registering. And it's a shame for me, and maybe for Anna too. But last Super Saturday, I believe it was, most of the people who were not registered were us, the Latino community. So, and a lot of ICMs. So please, 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 if you are around the nation, we welcome everybody. We want as many people as possible to benefit from all the services and all the events that but be an example. If you are LCM, be an example to your guests. Register yourself, register your guests properly. So we behind the scene can do our job faster and easier. Because most of the time we spend the entire event trying to figure it out where the people are. And it's, you know, it's something to facilitate our jobs and make it easier. We will, you know, we will really appreciate that if everybody takes the opportunity to register in the calendar, please.
Something that I do here. Yeah, go ahead.
I just have one more question. What is the date and the time of the Spanish-speaking property tour?
Okay, we do have the property tours. It's called Tour de la Casa, and it's for Saturdays. It's every Saturdays. I believe it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, it's at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, so around 11 o'clock. So register on Saturdays. And this is what I do to facilitate also registration. You know, when you register yourself in the calendar, look for the host, because sometimes there are several events, and last week we have people saying, oh, I registered, but they were registered in another intro, not in ours, or in another event, not in ours. And the easiest way that I found is to search for the host. The host for all these Elevate events is Laura and Ryan Black. So you put under search, go to the calendar and put under search Laura. Even if you just only write Laura, it will come all the events that she has posted as a host. And then you see Tour de la Casa on Saturdays is for Spanish. Also, we have the other Spanish, which is the intro. That's on Thursdays at 7. And all of these times are Mountain Time. So on Thursdays, we have the intro in Spanish and English. Follow-ups cannot be done in Spanish. So you're never going to find Spanish follow-up. That's part of the guidelines. So go back and find the document for the guidelines. The guidelines, the bilingual guidelines is really, really a nice document to kind of follow the items. But follow-ups we never do in Spanish. That's another reason, because we want to make sure that when we close them, they understand it's in English. So follow-ups have never been done in Spanish. The intro is done in Spanish, house tours are done in Spanish. Those are the only 2 events that can be done in Spanish.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I think for the intro is elevatespanishintro.com. For Tour de la Casa, I don't remember, it's probably elevatetourdelacasa.com, because I think we try to make a pattern of using Elevate in everything at the beginning of the event, you know, for the website, that they can enter Zoom directly from that link. This is a good topic. So yeah, people need to be aware of what is happening in the Spanish world, and we are expanding because we are going now worldwide. You can, the prophets you can do in Spanish. If you want to host a prophet event, I've been hosting prophet event, and I do them on Saturday as well, to target people in other countries. But I did it like 2 Saturdays ago, but then we have 2 Super Saturdays in a row that I attended. So this coming Saturday, I will do them again, and it will show on the calendar. But you can search Wanda and you see what I have, if I have anything in the calendar. If you want to see Bill is doing a great prophet, for prophet, a great prophet intro. I believe Bill is doing it on Fridays, right, Bill? And you search Bill, and his event will come up. So that's the easiest way. Just figure it out who's the host of the event and search
Wanda,
for
Bill
the host.
who?
Bill Predibum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Bill Predibum.
Prophets webinar is a Prophets intro. It's about 45 minutes to an hour, and it's Friday morning, or Friday at 12 noon Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, so 3 Eastern.
Yeah, and I attended, I think, the first one, and I think we have what, like 30, 40 people in there, Bill?
Yeah, we had like, I think 25 the first time, and then there was over 40 this last time.
Yeah, and it was awesome. He does a very great job of explaining the entire program, and just invite people, because that's one of the tools that now you can also market to people who doesn't have any interest on real estate. This is for business, for entrepreneurs, so market that. Yeah, we like to sell combos. We want to sell the combos, but if you find a prospect that doesn't have interest on real estate, this is the kind of a backdoor, and then they will understand the importance of real estate if they enter through the prophet. And
hey Bill, are you recording your intros or not?
yes, we do record intros, and I believe, I don't know if Bill recorded his prophet. Probably he did. I think we had a conversation with Ryan and stuff in promoting the videos from the actual intros. I use them like if somebody wanted to come to Thursday but they couldn't attend, then I send them. But I want to piggyback in something that Scott Rowe mentioned this morning. When you send the link of the event, then you have to promote more and follow through more, right? Because it wasn't like you knew that the person was there. then you have to continue asking the questions, did you watch it, and so on. So it's useful, and I have used the links, but it requires more attention to the guests. Any other
Yes,
questions?
I do have it recorded, just so you know, Wanda. I mean, I've sent it to a few people that have asked. I just need someone's, you know, you can Facebook me or message me to get a hold of it.
Yeah, and something that Ryan in the meeting, and I hope this is okay, that I'm going to share this, that we were concerned is that you send the link to this prospect, but you don't know who they send it to, if they choose to send it to somebody else, and you may lose contacts in between. So be very careful to explain to the customer or to the guest that you're sending it to, this is for you, not to send to somebody else, or if you send to someone else, please give me the contact information. So you protect your guests, because you don't know who's going to get the link if you send it out, if that makes sense. So be,
I
you know,
that
just
happen a couple times, Wanda.
Yeah, that could happen. And so be careful and just make sure that you sending the link is for this particular person. And make the claim, if you send it to someone else, please give me the contact so you can protect all your prospects. Kelly, you want to talk about that? What happened to you?
I had a gentleman come to the intro on Thursday night, and I used to work with him, so he's Warm Market. And what happened was he wanted to, without telling me, he told me this later, but he had sent the link out to a couple people. He sent it out to his mom. He sent it out to one of his friends, and he was just sending it to them to get their opinion on it. And so it just kind of made me realize, like, anyone that has these recording links can just send it out to whoever, whether they have the intention of sharing the information or they just want to share it because they want to get an opinion. But finally, when he told me that, it was kind of, I don't know why, but I felt kind of awkward asking him to give me the information of the people he shared it with. But I was able to, you know, explain why that it was important that I did. And anyway, that's all that happened.
Correct. Because, but, you know, it's every guest, you know, potentially you're going to earn money when they purchase. And if I get the link and I didn't know that link came from, because it's not like the link that you have in the campaign. See, the link in the campaign tracks the guest who gets it once they see the briefing and the intro and they put the information. But the link that you send outside the campaign is not going to track who's looking at it or anything. And you want to protect the people that you want to work with. Yeah, so that's really important. So it's kind of a sort of two-edged. So be careful when you send a link. That is not within the campaign. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wanda, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Sherry Wallace.
Hi.
So I'm listening to your conversation that you're having with you and Keely are having regarding if you send the link to someone. I'm not sure, I haven't completed my business automation course in profits, but I'm wondering if there's something that we could probably look to do so that the link has a registration component attached to it. Pretty much the way, like when you log into the Impact now, even though I'm on the Impact every day, every time I log into the Impact, it requires me to register before I can go into the Impact. So we might want to see if there's something we can do on a business automation side to protect our links that we're sending out that way. Just an idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
yes,
it's just an idea.
Yeah, you're totally correct. And I don't know the answer to that one. I know that the link that is protected is the one that you have in the campaign, that you created your own website. And with that link, you send that link, like mine is Wanda Word of Wealth, that myrenatus.com. Or so when I send that, anybody who watch it pretty much get protected if they go through the process. Okay? If they bail out, obviously from the first briefing or something, then the protection goes away because they didn't pretty much bail out and participate, which it comes then into your task and you see who bail out in any particular milestone in the process. But if you send the link of the recording Zoom, there's no way to do what we normally do when we enter the meeting in Impact or in the intro that we register into Zoom, because that is a Zoom registration. It's different. And I don't think there's a way, once you send the recorded out from Zoom, because that's a Zoom link, from that recording, you're not going to have the information from the guests who get it. I don't know how to solve that technology. I don't think it even exists.
Yeah, there is.
But it's a good idea.
Yeah, you know, guys, the other thing is we record so many recordings. Like I probably have 150 recordings in my Zoom office right now. And
Yes.
so if you got all these people doing presentations across the country recording, and the other thing is we're never going to protect a recording that's not approved by corporate. There's just no way that, like they're going to video edit any of the recordings that are going to be linked to that kind of stuff. So that's probably a part of it too, is they don't want to put their name on and connect you in that regard. Now you could set something up to protect your guests on the recordings. The other thing is like for me on these recordings, I send them to my team and stuff who missed them or who want to watch them again so they can have a little bit more knowledge. But when I send it to guests, the guest has seen a presentation of some sort. So like I got a guy who works at a car dealership that I'm working with, like, and he couldn't make the Super Saturday, but he'd already been to a live Thursday. Like he's in finding the money. And so it's just one more way to re-engage them and keep them engaged and keep them in that pipeline. But I wouldn't personally send a recorded webinar to anybody that hasn't seen the information, that I haven't started in the process with building a relationship via, phone and text, personal, upfront, conversations. Because I think it's a lazy isn't the right word, but it's an easier way to let people off the hook, if you will. It's an easier way to do your marketing, and it's a lazy way to do the marketing, not on purpose, but it's lazy for them. They have a reason, they don't have that strong desire. Like most people, I'm gonna wait till the recording, till the movie comes on DVD. Well, you know what I mean? Like there's a different mindset behind waiting because you don't want to pay to go see the movie. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing you don't. When you have a recording as a guest and you've never seen anything before, there's no give and take. The person isn't giving up their specific time of a day to go see a live presentation. They could just watch it anytime. So there's not as much value there exchanged for that. So I always do that. I do my recordings after someone's seen the event.
That is a great point, Bill. And I'm glad you brought it up because and I love the analogy that you use with waiting for the movie instead of going to the theater, waiting for the DVD or being an Netflix or something. And that's what I experience. When I have sent a link to someone, I have one guy who I have sent that link like 10 times, don't kidding you. But he hasn't been able to come to the live webinar or live event. And it's like, I feel so bad because I'm like, did you watch it? Did you watch it? Did you watch it? And it's like, I don't want to feel like I'm bugging him to watch it. So he hasn't put his effort. It's like what Bill just said, it has to be a two-way street. If you just give, and the person is not putting the effort, it's not worth your time. So it's really a word. It's not worth your time, honestly. So thank you, Bill. That was awesome. And so if anybody have ideas around this topic, because I think this is really, really important. You want guests who are ready and willing and able to do it. You don't want to be chasing people. And I know that I think he's in the line. Joanne, are you in the line? Joanne is a great example. This gentleman, I hope that he is not going to be, yeah, Joanne is on the line. He, by law and by papers, he's my uncle, okay? And I probably say this story before, but he's my uncle. I reached him online. I haven't seen him or know of him for 30 plus years because my grandma adopted him, and my grandma shortly after died. So he went back to the system, and I personally knew of him, but never had contact with him until recently. And I invited him to the event, and he has not missed a beat. He has not missed a beat. Every event, everything. So now he's an ICM looking for funding for his education. And that is commitment. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just impressed with his commitment, because he's like in Super Saturdays, he's hearing the calls. I gave him the information and how to be participating in these calls, and he is every day since he started, probably about 2 weeks ago, he has not missed a beat. So that is commitment. And if you send a link and the person doesn't even watch it, when you said, okay, when are you going to watch it? And they don't watch it. So it's like they're not giving, and you just giving everything you got, and they not doing their part, is you wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Okay, guys, this has been a great conversation.
I see that Michael's on the line.
Oh, oops, never mind.
Michael Huggins is on the line. Yes, Michael Huggins.
Hey, everybody.
Yes.
Hey, Michael. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Morning, Michael.
Hey, everybody. That was fun listening to you guys do some problem solving. I love it. Yeah, I just had a little poo bomb right before the meeting started, like literally Keely's saying my name, and I'm like, there, he just pooped. I gotta change him. So, you know, we're doing some teamwork makes the dream work. Vanessa puts the food in, I wipe the food out, kind of teamwork. But it's been great. I'm gonna go check in a second. If he's up, then I will bring him out, and we can all say hi to him. But I love that you guys are solving problems. You know, we do got to fix the registration portion of what's going on, especially us internally registering ourselves and setting, like Bill said, proper expectations before someone even gets a link. We've got to have a conversation. Please don't fool yourself into thinking that just sending a link is going to make a sale. It's a relationship that's going to make a sale. And the deeper you can build that relationship, the easier it becomes. I just had a guy buy an Epix combo that came to our last Super Saturday that we could meet up, which was in March. And we built a relationship the whole time. Now he went through hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. The banks were giving him a hard time. His family shut him down for funding, even though they were offering it first, and they looked into it more and shut him down. But because we had this relationship, every time he kept getting a door slammed in his face, he communicated with me instead of just saying, you know what, this isn't working. You know, some people, when they don't have a good relationship with you, they go, I think I'm going to take this resistance I'm experiencing as a sign that I shouldn't do it. And I think that's some of the stupidest thinking. When we go look at success principles, all the major achievers of the past have talked about that obstacles were an indicator. They were a pointer of the right direction, right? If it's easy and everything's just cupcakes and ding-dongs, then the reward's not going to be there. When you have to overcome something and surmount a challenge, that, and you have resistance towards that, that's a sign that that's the thing you should be tackling. So, and I've used that before with people who use that line on me. Oh, I think I should stop because it sounds hard. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? That's not what you said at the very beginning. That's not why you clicked on the ad. That's not why you responded to the flyer or the drop card. So just because you have some difficulties now doesn't mean we should slow down. And he happily joined. He ended up going through Credit Nerds and got $24,000, which is all he needs to get an Epix combo cash, right? So he still had $1,000 after that. So what Bill was saying is that the relationship is what made it happen. And even if it's just 10 minutes, but you're able to use the drive system and connect with them and use that series of questions where he talked about, you know, when Woody's saying, you know, what are you most passionate about? And then the next question of, well, what would life be like if you weren't able to do that? Then you can really find out that if it's their passion and get a real answer, or then their actual passion shows up, or when they talk about it, then we have their pain. Oh, well, what would that be like? Okay, well, let's fix that. And here's how we can fix it. Story, 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 build for event, follow up. And we just use the 4 money-making activities. This is why it's so important to nail down the stories. This is why it's important to constantly get on the founders webinar, because Bob brings out people who are having success stories, and you need a story. You need 100 stories. You need 500 stories. So find the people, tell the story, build for events, follow up. When you're telling the story and building for events, if you have a connection, then the idea of trying to chase down a registration here and there, it just goes away. Everything smooths out. We made this incredible system, right? This Helios system, the Zoom webinar systems that all the collaborators show up every week to make happen. That's also a system that we made. Those systems only work if you do the 4 money-making activities. Otherwise, they're just sitting there doing nothing. And when you have those conversations and you are able to paint a picture, if they're not moving forward, we just haven't created a strong enough intrigue. Intrigue is the name of the game. If you can create intrigue, you can create a sale. No intrigue, no sale, or a random sale at best. So what can you do to create more intrigue? I'm going to encourage all of you to find an online Toastmasters group and join it and volunteer every week and participate and start going through speeches. Toastmasters has totally revamped their system in the last 6 months. And I guess just in time, because now everything's online, but they have these great online processes where it'll ask you out of 10 categories what you want to learn. So I just recently went through it again. And I want to have presentation skills and humor. So now it starts to assign you these different speeches to do, and you just go into your group. I want a speech this week. I want a speech this week. And you just become one of those people that does a speech every week. And then your crew, the people who are watching, right, they're watching with intensity. They're listening to your stories. They're giving you feedback on how to do it better next time, but you have them captured for 5 to 7 minutes. And if you do that week after week after week, you've opened up your world. They get to see who you are. They get to hear your ideas and what you're working on and your excitement, your passion, your future. And then you get to start developing relationships. When you hear their speeches, now you can connect. You have something to build on. And then it's easy. Hey, if you want to watch this video that we made, great. If you want to come to this live thing that we're doing, great. We got this thing next month. You know, you shared that one of your passions is spending more time with your family. Well, we have something that we've been doing for the last 10 years that's helping more and more people spend time with their family, right? If I had a job right now, do you realize how crappy the last week would have been, having to call time off work, worry about, you know, I'm missing pay now, and what's the next thing I got to deal with? And, you know, I could take 6 months off if I wanted to. I could take a year off. It'd be just fine. I can make a few phone calls every week to make some sales if I want. I got the real estate income coming in. So when you're listening to what people need, whatever they need, whether they want more time, more money, more confidence, more experience, a new career, a peace of mind, which when you think about all the things I just listed, it leads to the peace of mind that they're looking for. The skill, the most valuable skill that you can create right now is your conversation skills. Now we have incredible resources like the straight line persuasion recording. It's 10 hours. You should go through that several times. That'll definitely give you ways of speaking a lot better. But Toastmasters will do that and put leads in front of you. Now it's about $100 a year to be a Toastmasters member. But if you give 52 speeches, you're going to have so much more control over the English language that when you speak, people listen. Right now, if you speak and they don't listen, that's just an indicator that your language is impotent. There's no power behind it. There's no oomph. It doesn't stir people's blood. And to stir people's blood, you have to be able to manipulate the language in such a way that they can see a picture in their mind while you're speaking. They can feel you while you're speaking. And they're not just sitting back trying to wait and go, what are you selling me? So I've got many sales out of our Toastmasters group in the last 6 months. When I started thinking about the money, we sneezing. So are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Toastmasters.org. And then also, if you go to Dane Clark, I'm just going to type it in the chat box here. DaneClark.com/straightline. Straight line persuasion is a sales course that is all about storytelling and using your voice correctly. If you're using the wrong tone when you're with a certain sentence, if you should be using the reasonable person tone, and instead you're using the question tone, then it starts to jumble up the person's brain and they're like, well, what is this person actually saying? But when the tone, the word, the power is all lined up, then we're selling one of the easiest things to sell. Right now, what's in demand is online education. One of the fastest growing industries before COVID was already e-learning. And now here we are. It is #1 fastest growing industry right now is e-learning. Then it's medical supplies. Then there's a couple other things that fall right behind that. But e-learning is it. Now, if you are already in the right industry, here you are. Fantastic. You're on the right team, in the right place, in the right industry, the right company at the right time. So why aren't you making $150,000, $250,000, $600,000 a year? Why aren't you making $1 million a year? It's only 100 combos. Well, geez, now with the epics, what is it, 84 combos now? It's only 84 combos. Why aren't you making $1 million a year? What it comes down to is your skill set. Okay? It's not the opportunity. It's not the timing. It's your skill set. So you're showing up here to get some skills. Fantastic. I noticed a lot of you missed Super Saturday. Right? We are not charging for our Super Saturdays. We had Troy Dunn on last week. A lot of you that are on the call now missed it. What were you doing? Why weren't you there? It was only 4 hours. It's not an 8-hour marathon. It's 4 hours. And we went through tons of training. We had a bunch of pit team members on, and then we had Troy Dunn sharing and teaching. So we're giving the skills. Here you go. Here are the skills. Here are the skills. But if you're not able to pick them up, I'm telling you, it's just your speaking abilities. Okay, so Keely Austin attended the Scottsdale Super Saturday. Perfect. Okay, as long as you're doing something that Saturday, do something. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go grab a baby real quick, and we'll be right back. So let me just do this. We'll stop this. Oh, I'm gonna share a quick picture for you all to see. Is it working? Oh, would you look at that beautiful woman?
Oh, that's so cute.
Look at that. Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh,
That's beautiful. We need the three of you picture. Right? We need a picture with the three of them.
Oh, so adorable.
That is adorable.
This reminds me when I had my first one. I have three of those.
Beautiful. Congratulations. He's precious.
Yeah. The baby I have is 22. I remember when he was that tiny and adorable. He's just a big version of adorable. Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
So,
And Vanessa, look at her.
so cute.
I got a freaking.
You caught that at a good time, Michael. Yeah.
That was a
Beautiful.
great
Thanks
picture.
for sharing that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Tell Vanessa Happy Mother's Day for us.
I will, definitely. So I
Yeah.
got my
Oh.
Benjamin shirt on, and I got a Benjamin in my arms.
Oh, so sweet.
Oh, hey, baby.
Wait a minute, you got a Benjamin on your shirt too. Is that what you said?
Right. It's all about the Benjamins.
Awesome.
Yeah, nothing to do with the name.
we
It's just
we
a
didn't even
coincidence.
notice that. We didn't even notice that. Okay, cool.
Just a coincidence. Oh, look at this guy.
So sweet.
Sleeping regular, eating regular, pooping regular.
He's so adorable. Oh.
Hear a lot of great things about you.
Wait a minute, because I had you on mute.
Are you
Michael, I
gonna
hear a lot of great things.
are you gonna
Yeah.
bring him to Cabo?
Most likely, yeah. He's gonna have
Yeah.
his first leaders retreat.
Oh,
He's gonna get his
great.
passport next month.
I could babysit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have 3 of those. They're not
Nice.
so little anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Look
Yeah.
at this guy.
Oh.
Sharing, Michael. Thank you for sharing.
Oh my goodness.
Michael, you're an inspiration.
Yeah.
So
We need a picture of 3 of you.
okay.
He's
We'll
a good
get that.
baby.
Yeah, this guy just is so calm and chill. He was 42 weeks, so he hung out for quite some time, but he was born under a full moon. The
Oh, wow.
flower moon is the super flower moon.
Oh, wow.
And-
That is great.
Yeah,
Supposed to be a good luck, though.
that's right.
Yeah.
Good
Cool.
luck, baby.
Yeah.
There's Mother Day's present there.
Right? Yeah, we did a Zoom call with great grandmas, grandmas, and all the aunties and a bunch of moms yesterday, and that was a ton of fun to get my grandma on, who's now a great grandma, on the Zoom webinar. You could only see the top half of her head. It was hilarious. It was like this. She's like, "Oh, this is great. I'm so glad I'm here."
So you didn't know how to operate the Zoom, huh?
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
worked.
Yeah, we did that yesterday too with my, with my kids,
Nice.
because one is in the, in the
Thank
Navy,
you.
so he can't come home. So
Yeah. So his middle name
Yeah.
is Bodhi. So his initials are BBH, Benjamin Bodhi Huggins. And Bodhi is fun because it sounds like Buddy, which is my grandpa's name, who just passed away, and my uncle's name. And so we got Benjamin, which is grandpa on Vanessa's side, and we got Bodhi, which is similar to grandpa on my side. So we're stacking names there, but then Bodhi also means enlightenment. And so when we were thinking, like, what name can we give him that would make him think, right? The number one most valuable skill on this planet right now is the ability to think. It's no longer big muscles. Nobody cares, right? 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, big muscles were a thing. You could move stuff, you could kill in a war if you needed to, whatever. But now it's all about the brains. So what can I do to give this guy a signal? You need to be a thinker. And so we named him Bodhi. Yeah, he just pooped. You just poop again.
oh, maybe he just had a little tummy ache.
So
Maybe
this
little
guy was,
gas, little gas.
He was built with vegetables. This is a meat-free baby.
Oh,
Vanessa
really?
was a vegetarian for about 2.5 years. A little bit of dairy here and there, some cheeses, and sometimes some scrambled eggs. But this is mostly a plant-based baby. Did you guys know you could do that?
Yeah.
Especially what's going on with the meat industry. That's awesome.
Right.
Start out right away.
Yeah.
I was
So,
at. Oh, I was gonna ask you. You've been doing. Were you like doing some juicing, or were you just eating veggies and all that?
Michael. Yeah, we were doing some juices, but mostly smoothies.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just did. I just did that for 6 days. I actually did that Monday until Saturday, and then my blood sugar. I checked my blood sugar from time to time, so it was like 90 when I started. So that was fasting, and it's been kind of pretty low. And then all of a sudden, Saturday I took it and it was like 110, and all I did was like juice, and I was starving for like 6 days. And and they told me that it was gonna be hard like the first 3 days, but then it was really hard, all 6 days. So I did that with Dave and my son and my little one, but I was the only one that stuck to it, but they were kind of cheating, eating some other things. But
Yeah.
I did that, but I was like surprised, and I'm like, wait a minute, why did my blood sugar went up instead of goes
Just sugar.
down?
It's all sugar, man.
Michael, is he breastfeeding?
Oh yeah, exclusively breastfeeding.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah,
that's the only way to go. Breastfeed.
My mom is a
good
lactation
immunity.
consultant. She does. She's been doing that for 20 years. So we got a good coach on our side. My mom is also a midwife. So it's funny. Back when I was working on cars all the time, she would call me when she went to a shop. She'd be like, "Hey, what does this mean? And what are they saying? And what should I do?" And then every time we did all the checkups, I had my mom on the phone. I'm like, "You're gonna listen to what they say, and you're gonna tell me what they mean."
That's great.
Yeah.
So how's Vanessa doing? Is she doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a champ. She used hypnosis to do the delivery.
Oh, okay.
So no drugs, no medication. She just used hypnosis, guys. It's freaking awesome. You can use hypnosis for anything. I hypnotized myself 10 years ago on how to be a better salesperson. And so all of you could be using the exact same process to get over a mental block or to see a better version of yourself and live into that. Because the only way to manifest anything in your life is you have to see it in your mind first. And so hypnosis really creates a clear mental picture, and then you can go and act on that clear mental picture. So she was seeing, safe, comfortable, easy childbirth, and that's what she got. She pushed 18 times when we got to the pushing phase. 18 pushes. It was half an hour, and this guy popped out. So,
wow.
and
Incredible.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, guys.
Yeah. When you see the baby coming out, it's just so precious.
So wild.
It's just a miracle.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Vanessa never gave birth before, but she did it perfectly.
Right.
Like she knew everything what to do.
Yep.
Because she did, Mike. She really did. She envisioned it. She saw it as a future that was happening now. It's like, just to be standing in a future fulfilled. Because there's no future. All there is now. Technically.
Right.
In real time. Yeah. Beautiful. Michael, thank you so much for being so generous with all of us.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, we want to hold him.
Yeah. Well, this is what we're getting for the next few months anyway.
Yeah. That's great though, while you're at home being stuck, so you could, take care of the baby.
Yeah, we're stuck on 265 acres with a water
and Vanessa.
and a four-wheeler.
Oh, are you in Tennessee right now?
We are, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought you were in Colorado.
No, we left Colorado like 5 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Right before they did the shelter in place, we're like, you know what? If we're going to shelter in place, let's go do it in the cabin. So
cool.
Thanks to Geraldine, she partnered on the deal with us. And what a fantastic option, right? Remember, the only reason why we're getting rich is to have options. It's not to say we're rich. It's not to say I make more money than you. That's stupid. And if that's the only reason why you're trying to make sales, it's not going to work. Ultimately, if you look down all the way through and you go, why, and you ask why 7 times, why you're doing something, you get to the real reason. And for all of us here, it's options. We just want options. We want the option to pick different things on the menu when we go to a restaurant. We want the option to pick different things off the shelf when we go to a store. We want the option to pick a different car when we go shopping, right? It's just the options that we're really after. And so to have the option to go to the cabin in the woods for a birth during a pandemic, what an incredible option.
Yeah, I'd say that's awesome.
So, all right, you guys
So
remember what I said about
obviously you're not that
postpartum?
far from the hospital, right?
No, like 20, 30 minutes. Not
Okay,
that
well,
far.
that's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
But luckily, we didn't need that. We just did it at home.
Oh, you do. See, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
we're
know.
No
Wow.
hospitals right now. Hell no.
Really? Oh, right. That is awesome.
Yeah. It's just too.
So you delivered the baby or your mom?
No, two midwives came, and one of them was
Oh.
specialized in hypnosis birthing, which was really cool.
Oh,
So when we were calling around and looking for people, she was the second person that we talked to, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know all about it. I've been a hypnobabies instructor for 8 years." And we're like, "Oh, we don't have to explain anything to you. We could just show up and make it happen." So she brought her assistant, and yeah, it happened pretty quick.
Oh, wow. That is
It's interesting because you can't tell during the hypnosis. You can't tell, like typically when someone's using medication or not hypnosis, you can tell how much progression is happening by the facial expressions they're making and their heart rate and just the intensity that they're experiencing. But when they're in hypnosis, it's like this during a contraction, and she comes back out and then she starts talking again. So we're like,
wow.
All right, well, this has been happening for like 10 hours. You must be coming along pretty soon. It's crazy. So
How long was she in delivery for? How many hours?
So her first pressure wave started at so it's about 16 hours from the time the first wave hit to the baby coming out. We say pressure wave instead of contraction because that's all it is. A contraction indicates pain, but pressure wave is just pressure. So
so would the nurse were the midwife already was there during the 16 hours the whole time, or
no, one of them showed up with about 6 hours to go.
Okay.
And then the other one showed up with about 3 hours to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. Got to periodically go outside and look at the full moon while it's happening. And the full moon has a ton of influence on uteruses. Uteri, I think, is the plural. Maybe it's uteruses. Anyway.
What time was he born? What time? At night?
No, he finally popped out at 10:17 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And Vanessa was waiting for. You guys know it's not recommended to have like over easy eggs or sunny side up eggs when you're pregnant, and she'd been waiting for eggs Benedict for 9 months. So that was her first meal, homemade custom eggs Benedict, and then she took a nap, and this guy took a dump. His first poop.
What's
I
the
didn't have
deal
a
with the
diaper on.
eggs? What's the deal with the eggs?
Because runny yolks have a potential for an infection.
Yeah.
Really?
Because it's raw. Yeah, raw. Pregnant women, you're not supposed to eat raw stuff like raw fish, and they don't really let you eat that.
Not raw eggs, not even kombucha. She couldn't have kombucha for 9 months, so she finally got to have it again, and her toes wiggled when she had her first kombucha. Okay, I just noticed the time, guys. I'm late to the pack call. I gotta go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should. Well, thank you very much again for showing the baby, and congratulations to you and Vanessa. It is awesome. Enjoy it because they don't stay little very long.
God bless you.
I have three little boys, and they're not so little anymore. So I just,
Okay, well, thank you, everybody.
So much fun. Thank you, Michael.
Follow through on your promises that you made to yourself when you started this whole thing. Face your fear, get better at talking, join Toastmasters, enroll some Toastmasters, and think about it. If you made a team of Toastmasters people, they'll go out there and sell like crazy. So have a vision for that, and we'll check in with you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Thank you,
bye.
Michael. Say hi to Vanessa and the baby.
God bless you.
See you soon.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.